Welcome back to Tiny Blue Games. My name's of course Csaw or Chris, and today we're going to be talking about the holidays and MMORPGs. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on Final Fantasy XIV and Guild Wars 2, as these are two games that I love coming back to for holidays. And in particular, they do Christmas or Starlight Celebration or whatever you want to call it quite well. And it's just, I think MMOs, are definitely a comfort genre for me. It's a big reason why I keep playing them. I obviously do love the story. I love the competitive scene. I love the raids, the dungeons, the battlegrounds, whatever you have. But I do really enjoy how it is, on some level, a world with holidays that come and go. Every game can kind of put its own spin on a specific holiday, and you get to see how that changes over the years. It's a very comfortable, homey feeling, which I like, and it's become incredibly important as I've transitioned a few years ago now from being a child who lives at home and kind of has that home atmosphere at the holidays to living on my own and trying to make my own home atmosphere, have my own traditions, but continue doing stuff with like my family and stuff like that. It's been nice that these holidays that reside in games can be maintained between those two different scenarios. So it's been really fun. It's also been kind of interesting with how Christmas is lined up this year. I believe this video should land on Saturday the 24th. So I think this is like the closest to actual Christmas that I've probably done a video. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I did not go back and check, but it's a pretty close lineup. So I wasn't exactly sure what kind of release I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to play these two games and really enjoy them over the holidays, so I thought this was a good way to do that. In Guild Wars 2, you'll see me doing this dungeon that they have for the holidays. I think it's like Trix's Infinitarium or something. Infinitorium. I'm gonna butcher it. It's a dungeon that's been in the game for a really long time, and I remember doing it when it first came out, and then not doing it like almost any of the years since then, just because whenever I do find myself on Guild Wars 2 for the holidays, I like doing the quick, like either the snowball fight or the jump quest or something like that, like something pretty to the point, unless there's a specific achievement I'm hunting for, which does happen. But this time I was like, hey, let's go back to this. Very similar to the Halloween one, I decided to try soloing it this year on my warrior build, which is quite tanky, and it was pretty fun. It took a really long time, but I did go through a lot of the different phases that I remembered from back in the day. It's not like a really hard dungeon, and it's such a beautiful area. The time they put in to make these assets for the Christmas events in Guild Wars 2 is just staggering. Like, you're inside this little Christmas village, you have all these cute and very evil enemies like scrits and dolls that are attacking, and you're trying to defend or break up their waves of attack. So it's a lot of fun. You'll see that mixed throughout the video here. And then on the Final Fantasy side, I went and did the current Starlight Celebration event. I think Final Fantasy has such a great standard that they set for their holidays, because there's a 15 to 20 minute primary quest that gives you the main reward you probably want, and then there's all this extra stuff you can do if you're someone who finds they have a lot more time over the holidays, because it's kind of one of those things where some years you actually have a ton of time to play over the holidays and you're like, okay, let's really get into this. But sometimes you're traveling or something and you probably can only do that 15 or 20 minute celebration, and you still want the new mount or whatever. So it's nice that they do give that to you in kind of 2 doses, which I think is really fun. The mount itself was awesome. It's like a little reindeer, very integral to the story this year. And it's such a fun holiday thing. You have that holiday music that they play whenever you're like reading the quests and stuff like that, and it's always about like a life lesson of some sort, which on some level makes us all a little bit better players. But yeah, that's the MMO side of it. Myself, I am traveling over the holidays, so I didn't have a ton of time to play, and a lot of these videos actually that you'll be seeing between now and New Year's are videos that were made earlier in December to try and have some content throughout the month. And that's something I've been trying to do most holidays when I do know it's going to get busy. I've been a bit more lenient in 2022, making sure I give myself time, if it's a week without content, to give myself that. So I just wanted to thank you guys for being okay with that. I know there's never any kind of expectation on what is delivered on a YouTube channel, but I find it's something that is an ongoing conversation. And if I always go back to, you know, many years ago, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where I sometimes had breaks that would last half a year or multiple months without a video, because I'd hit my limit. And then when I got back into it, I kind of overdo it and like do a whole bunch of videos all in a row or something like that. It feels a lot more balanced to do these weekly videos and sometimes have these breaks. The streams this year have been so much fun. I mean, reflecting on the channel is kind of what I always do at the end of the year. It's just, it's something that you think of. You're doing it with all, you know, all the businesses do it. They look at how did the year go and what can we do next year. I'm happy. I'm happy with the content we're making. I'm having a lot of fun doing the content we're making, and I think that's the biggest plus. If I was looking at views and subs, you know, hey, it's been a quieter year. The algorithm hasn't shone on us in any kind of way, but that's okay. It's just been a really great journey. I'm super excited that 2023 is going to be the year of Shadowbringers for Final Fantasy XIV. We're definitely going to keep up doing those streams. You know, Guild Wars 2, we're going to keep checking out new stuff. They should hopefully be progressing the story past the end of Dragon's story at some point here, and I'm excited to dive in and see what that looks like. And then just all these other MMOs that I do spend time on, I'll probably make some videos. I would optimistically like to get some more flagship videos out in 2023. These are the videos like, you know, why play blank game in 2023, or, you know, this MMO versus that MMO, or like very like higher level videos. They are typically healthier for the channel. They do take longer to make, and I think it's been a while now since we've made them, because I didn't make a ton of them in 2022, so it's not like, you know, I have a bunch that I've just gone and made or something like that, so that'll be good. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. The other nice thing about this video launching on Christmas Eve is that's kind of where traditionally I've celebrated a lot of my Christmassy times. Like, we've often done the Christmas morning on actual, like, the 25th or whatever. But in terms of traditions, you know, it's always been the dinner on the 24th, and really getting to see all of the family that could come on that day and have a nice dinner that starts, you know, at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon and goes to quite late, especially when we were all younger and didn't have full-time jobs and stuff like that. But it was always very enjoyable. And I guess this is where I'd like to kind of open it up to everyone else. You know, hey, share a comment. You know, what are you doing for the holidays? What are your kind of traditions? If you want to share, never feel like you have to. But I do really enjoy reading through the comments. I know we're a far distance away from back when we had 1,000 subs, and I would reply to every comment, and I do miss those days in some way. But I do try to read all of the comments whenever I can, especially when I'm traveling, which I'm doing over the break. It's one of my favorite things, you know, have an audiobook playing and just scroll through the comments and try and like catch up on some that I hadn't seen or reply to a few of them. It's one of the most enjoyable things that's added to my traveling experience, because it feels like I'm bringing a portion of my hobby, my day-to-day with me wherever I go, and it kind of brings that familiar sense, especially when it's, you know, regulars that I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing over the holidays. So it's always really fun. But more than anything, before we get too sappy, let's finish this video off on a good note. I just wanted to say thanks for everyone who's been a part of this channel for so many years, for the people who regularly come to the videos, for the people who come to the live streams, the people who play during the live streams, the people on Discord. You've really made such a great community that it's so easy and enjoyable to make content for. And it's one of the reasons I think I've been able to do it for the last few years without any kind of major break or breakdown or anything like that, you know, except for that one eye thing that happened pretty recently. But let's be honest, there's not much we could have done to prevent that. And I guess that's something I'm also grateful for. I know it's not a Thanksgiving speech or anything like that, but that I was able to recover and can use my eye, because that's such a big part of what I enjoy doing, is the visual aspect, right? So I'm just very happy, very humbled, and really enjoying things. But I hope everyone who's listening to this video and everyone who watches it after the fact has a great holiday. Enjoy your time off if you have it. Enjoy spending it with the people you can, and enjoy doing the traditions that make you happy, even if it's something you do solo or something you do in an MMORPG. That doesn't make it any less real or any less emotionally appealing and enjoyable. But yeah, hopefully you have a great holiday. Enjoy the rest of your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.